Kavita ma'am, uh, could we start the session, ma'am?
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Could we start the session?
Yes, sure.
Yeah. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's session. I, Dr. Deepu CS, Secretary IHMA Piravam, here to welcome all of each one of you, welcoming each one of you to this wonderful session and wonderful evening. Gratitude to our master, Dr. Samuel Hahnemann, for giving this divine science for humanity. And welcome, ma'am. I'm not going to talk more about our sessions. You know, we are continuously doing our sessions since 2 years. And you people are the inspiration for us to make more webinars and more work more for homeopathy. And here today we have an amazing speaker. She has been here for so long, and still nobody, still many people wanted to hear from her. So it is none other than Dr. Kavita Chandak. I don't wanted to talk everything. I don't wanted to introduce her completely because it will take either 10 or 15 minutes. So I'll just brief about her. She's a homeopath, and she has won 2 Golden Book of World Record holder for success in kidney disorders and mucormycosis. Advisory board member at Turkey Journal Istanbul, and she is board of director of Afghanistan Homeopathic Medical Association. And she has been a professor, and she had published a lot of books, and she had taken 700 plus sessions in many countries. And I am welcoming with lots of love to take this session.
Thank you, Dr. Deepu. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Today we are going to talk about cerebral atrophy. And please let me share my screen first. Okay. Deepu, am I visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, hello, friends. Today, let us talk about cerebral atrophy. But before that, I would like to thank Dr. Deepu because of his trust. He always trusts me, and he always give me the challenging things. He doesn't expect small things from me. He always give me such topics and such things which he feel that I could cover up well, and I try my level best. So nobody is great here to teach anything. Again, today's session will be interactive. I will talk, you will talk, and we all will talk. And let us exchange our ideas so that we will grow together and will enjoy exchanging ideas and knowledge. In July 2021, a young man aged 37 consulted me with the diagnosis of diffuse cerebral atrophy. His MRI brain screening showed mild prominence cerebellar folia suggestive of diffuse cerebellar atrophy / degeneration. See, the slash, we consider it as or, but for me, it is never or. Because in medical terminology, if you will see, we have 2 different meanings of atrophy and degeneration. So remember this slash till the end of the session. This is his report, which he performed in 27th April 2019. And it was showing mild prominence cerebral folia suggestive of diffuse cerebellar atrophy / degeneration. It means he had this trouble 2 years before meeting me, and he met me in 2021. He said, 8 years back, doctors diagnosed me having degenerative changes in L5, S1, and 2 years back with cerebral atrophy. I have difficulty in walking, like imbalance and backache. My speech is not clear. I fumble. I have thyroidism since 3 years. Nowadays, I feel irritability. Since 2 years, I pass stool but having unsatisfied feeling. I have sensitive throat to sour or cold food since my higher school days. My father had same degenerative changes in his back. He was operated for that. Mother has asthma. I am sitting for long time in my office using laptop and Wi-Fi. I am quite introverted person. I keep everything inside me. By profession, I am chartered accountant. Please help me solving my issues. I asked him to add some more symptoms if he has any. He said, in my job, in my old job, we did not have toilet in our office. I had to hold urine for a long time. It was 1 year back. Now I switched my job. I asked him whether he switched the job for this reason only or he had some other problems. He said the working hours were too long and it was annoying to sit with computer for such long time. I was fed up with this monotonous routine, hence I changed the company. See, though he changed the company, but his job pattern is same. Only difference is that now his working hours are reduced a little bit. Now I have flexible working hours, toilet facility and less stress. The job is same, still working on computer. I feel heaviness in eyelids and head. There is drowsy feeling while talking. My vision is blurred. I feel exhausted and my stamina is not good. So, my dear friends, do you have or are you getting any hint for some remedy here? You can type in chat. Dipu, I cannot see the chat right now.
Yeah, it's there actually.
Okay, no problem. But can you read for me?
Can you repeat the question? Can you repeat the question?
Yeah.
Yeah. Some
Please.
people are asking about what you have asked actually, ma'am.
My question is that
Rubric or medicine, ma'am?
not rubric. I am just asking about medicine. See, when we talk with the patient in the beginning, there are so many medicines keep on popping in our mind.
Okay. Dr. Harinath had written opium.
Okay. Anybody else?
Ruta.
Ruta, how?
Clinging suppression of natural discharge by Dr. Rajiv.
Okay, no problem. Any more inputs?
Silesia. Staphysagria.
Okay. Everybody, I think, just concentrating on urine issues.
Yeah.
See, you are handling neurological case. So think broad. Okay. Moving forward. First of all, before deciding any medicine, we need to analyze an evolution of the case. You know, during interview, I observed that degeneration is the keynote of this case, running right from spine to liver and brain. All other symptoms like heaviness in eyes and head, blur vision, difficult speech, imbalancing while walking, etc., are the secondary manifestation of the degenerative changes. So we have to think about this CD, that is central disturbances. Don't concentrate on the PD, that is peripheral disturbances. Peripheral disturbances are the symptoms which patient is telling you, but you need to find out the root cause behind all these symptoms. So in this case, my treatment was vanadium. I will show you how and why. But before that, just listen his video.
को डायग्नोस हुआ कि L5S1 में डीजनरेशन है, थोड़ा गैप है।
तो अभी कितना ड्यूरेशन गया होगा भैया बीच में इसके?
मैडम 7th ईयर हुआ, आज से आप काउंट करते तो 8 साल और ये 2 साल पहले ये अपना सेरेब्रल ये 2 साल पहले। अभी एट प्रेजेंट मेरे को उनके चलने में डिफिकल्टी होता है और बैक में पेन है, घबराहट होने लगी और चलने में थोड़ा इम्बैलेंसिंग होने लग गया।
जो मैं ऑब्जर्व कर रही स्पीच में भी कहीं तो भी प्रॉब्लम
अभी तो ब्लर हो रही, मतलब कि हो रहा है, फंबल भी हो रहा है।
फंबल हो रहा है, वो समझ में आ रहा है। आपके पूरे बॉडी का एक ही की नोट है, दैट इज डीजनरेशन। आप पूरा हेड से लेके फीट तक के सिर्फ डीजनरेशन में है। हाँ। बैक में डीजनरेशन, ब्रेन में डीजनरेशन। तो मतलब मुझे ऐसा एक और डाउट है भैया, शायद लिवर में या पैनक्रियास में भी डीजनरेशन।
सीटी स्कैन का सोच नहीं कराता है
भैया, है प्रॉब्लम गॉल ब्लैडर में है, सूजन है गॉल ब्लैडर में, और ये भी है जो मैं सोच रही थी ना, लिवर का डीजनरेशन इसमें आ गया है। ये 100% बताए नीचे, डिफ्यूज फैटी इन्फिल्ट्रेशन ऑफ लिवर, डीजनरेशन से भी एक कदम आगे चला गया है। तो क्यों शुरू है, थायराइड है क्या? ये कब से आया?
मैडम 3 साल बाद, पहले नहीं था ये, मगर अभी बहुत चिड़चिड़ होते हैं हम पहले से।
रोज पेट साफ
होता है मगर पूरा फुल सेटिस्फैक्शन नहीं।
आपको सेटिस्फैक्शन नहीं है? तो ये प्रॉब्लम कॉन्स्टिपेशन वाली जो है ये कब से चल रही है? अभी आई पिछले 2-5 साल में या बहुत पहले से?
वही आप जो 2-5 साल गला खराब होता है, स्कूल डेज में नहीं। हाँ। ये कॉलेज चीज में, मतलब 10th आफ्टर 10th
गला खराब होता था। किस किस चीज से?
मैडम कुछ भी खट्टा खाया,
हाँ,
या ऑयली खा लिया, हाँ, तो उससे गला खराब होता है। अच्छा। डैड को भी स्पाइनल का इशू था।
क्या था?
ये जो डीजनरेशन है L5S,
मतलब
हाँ, उन्होंने ऑपरेट किया डॉक्टर चौधरी के पास से।
ओके,
तो फिर ठीक था,
वो ठीक थे।
हाँ।
और मम्मी
को अस्थमा है, मगर मेरे को जो है ना काफी दिन कंटिन्यूसली बैठता हूँ मैं ऑफिस में, और लैपटॉप कंप्यूटर यही है थोड़ा यूज करने का।
गुस्सा आता है तो उसको कैसे एक्सप्रेस करते हैं आप?
शांत रहता हूँ और क्या,
मतलब आप गुस्सा अंदर दबा लेते हैं? आप बोलने वालों में से नहीं है?
तो अपने भैया बोले दैट आप सिस्टर हो गए,
अब भाई तो मेरे मैं आपको ठीक करूंगी ना।
मैंने वो तो करना ही है फिर।
So from his talk and this keynote, when it popped in my mind that degeneration is the key symptom in this case, I guess that he must have some degenerative changes in liver also. And he immediately showed me the CT scan report from his mobile, which showed degenerative changes in his spine. You can see here, it shows degeneration at L5S1 with annular tear. This report performed by 27th April 2019. And the other report, additionally, he has acute cholecystitis, diffuse fatty infiltration of liver, and grossly distended gallbladder. This distension of gallbladder happened because of holding urine for a long time. It's not under degenerative changes, but degeneration was there definitely in liver. And this is the report. So I had his all reports. Then I considered few rubrics from all this data from his subjective talk and from my objective observation. That was mind reserved, brain atrophy of, head heaviness accompanied by eyes heaviness of lids, mouth speech difficult, abdomen fatty degeneration of liver, back spine complaints of spinal cord, back degeneration spinal cord, and from the general chapter, I picked two rubrics, degeneration of tissues, tendency to, and fatty degeneration of organs. See, it was completely pathological case. So when there is pathological case, we need to pick up pathogenic symptoms, pathogenic rubrics from the repertory. Otherwise, in the psychiatric cases or gynec cases, we usually prefer the non-pathognomic symptoms. Various remedies came up like phosphorus, lycopodium, plumbum mate, gelsemium, nux vomica, aurum mate, conium mac, mercsol, agaricus, and picric acid. So all these remedies came up. Whenever there is degeneration, we usually think about phosphorus, and coincidentally, in this case, phosphorus came at first place in repertory chart. I did not prescribe phosphorus here. You know why? Because we never prescribe the medicine just because it stood first in the repertory chart. You see, repertory is a mechanical tool. If you enter wrong rubrics, you will get wrong set of remedies. So I usually justify my all remedies with the Matra Medica. Here I did not prescribe phosphorus. It covers degeneration and fatty infiltration of liver, but it does not cover degeneration of spinal cord as well as the tissues. It is good for organ degeneration. Hence, I considered, hence I prescribed Vanadium Make 30, which was given twice a day for 15 days. Now a question arises, why Vanadium? There are two rubrics which cover Vanadium. First is general fatty degeneration of organs, and there is tendency towards degeneration in tissues. And we have two remedies for that, arsenic and vanadium. So in this case, I chose vanadium. Let me throw a little light on vanadium. It's a hard silvery gray colored metal. Initially, it is called as brown lead, later named it as vanadium. Metals are obtained from mineral kingdom. Many wonderful remedies are prepared by potentizing the metals. We know and we know how we get the remedies from metals. Many wonderful remedies are prepared from potentizing the metals. Metals have direct action on human physiognomy because somewhere our body is also made up of Panchatattva. That's why we have all the metals and minerals in our body. They affect almost every vital system of body. Metals are also used as therapeutic agents. It is present at the center part. Vanadium is present at the center part on the left side of on the top rows. Fourth row, fifth column in periodic table. And it is proved by Dr. Burnett. We all know Dr. Burnett, the great pioneer. Its sphere of action is circulatory system, mucous membrane, tissues, and its clinical indication is mostly in adhesions, disease, as well anemia, arteriosclerosis. We use this remedy for heart diseases, and emaciation, fatty liver, liver disorder, as well. It very beautifully cover the malnutrition. So it is very important remedy, and vanadium is one among the heavy metals. Theme of metal remedies are attack, defense, and performance. What is this? You know what? Vanadium people have to be successful, but they are not allowed or they are incapable of doing that. They oblige to live up to many tasks, but they are confused as to what task, why, and how to do. See, while explaining any type of physical symptoms or while applying any remedy to cover physical symptoms, it is not necessary to think about mental symptoms. Is it a right sentence? No. You need to understand your patient thoroughly, and hence you need to understand or you need to have the complete knowledge about every remedy which you are going to prescribe to the patient, because patient is trusting you and giving his life in your hands. So you must be aware about every symptom. Vanadian patients, they make plans, but they think I won't succeed anyway. They feel that they have to achieve a lot in their position, but they are not sure what. You see, there is a lot of irresolution, confusion. They are always doubting themselves and can't make choices. They are not strong enough to make decisions. And if they do make one, they doubt their choice afterwards. So there is little bit doubtful tendency. Somewhere this drug picture or these mental symptoms are sounding like of Alzheimer's Niger's mental symptom. Always do comparative study of Matra Medica so that you will easily remember all the symptoms in a glance. Now, there is big irresolution. Am I choosing the right profession? Am I a good person? Who am I? The doubt is the result of their fear of failure. The theme comes up in their dreams, the dream of missing the train or not getting to the telephone on time, etc. etc. Their continuous doubting attitude is the reason that they don't complete things and are always late. So this is about, in short, about vanadium. Oh yes, one more thing I forgot to mention about vanadium. You see, the cause of this situation can usually be found in their upbringing, how they born and brought up. See, our upbringing has lot of impacts in our behavior, our nature, our achievement, our attitudes. There is often successful and dominant father in cases of vanadium. They are brought up very strictly with the task of pleasing everybody, particularly their own parents. Now you see here it is sounding like little bit carcinogen and maternal. They have to be good, caring, decent and hardworking children. Such a child would dare to resist their parents' wishes or would never dare to resist their regime and eventually won't know anymore what it wants for itself. It feels oblique to its duties but don't know the reason and purpose anymore. And somewhere there is disappointment, sadness, resentment in the back of the mind because of the loss of identity. Few characteristic symptoms of vanadium are: it is a remedy for degenerative condition of liver and arteries, acts as a tonic of digestive function in early tuberculosis, sensation as if heart was compressed, as if blood had no room in aorta, anxious pressure on whole chest, fatty heart, brain softening, tuberculosis, cough is dry, irritating and paroxysmal, sometimes with hemorrhage, anorexia and symptoms of gastrointestinal irritation. And that's why I explained you that clinically we use this remedy especially in cases of malnutrition and emaciation. Irritation of nose, eyes and throat. There is anemia and arteriosclerosis. When you have some differential remedies, we must go through it so that you should know why I am choosing vanadium and why this moment I am not choosing arsenic album or phosphorus. Arsenic album has fatty degeneration of heart and angina pectoris, pulse more rapid in morning, liver and spleen enlarged, and painful ascites and anasarca. This is a wonderful remedy. It gave me a perfect result in cases of CKD, where patient is complaining chronic kidney disorder along with parenchymal disease of kidney and parenchymal disease of liver with ascites. So at such cases, just think about arsenic album and my suggestion is that go with low potency like 3C, 6C or LM potency. Then the other remedy was phosphorus. Very weak and all-gone sensation in phosphorus patient is there. Liver is congested, acute hepatitis, fatty degeneration, heart, violent palpitation, anxiety on lying on left side. Right side of heart is dilated and feeling of warmth in the heart. So these are few characteristic symptoms of arsenic and phosphorus and I already explained vanadium. Now follow up after 15 days. He came to visit me. I asked, it's now 15 days since you are under my medication for cerebral atrophy. How are you now? He said, I took your medicine and feeling 50% improvement. Can you elaborate? I asked him. He said, now I can walk, misbalancing reduced, backache is there. I am walking for almost 2.5 kilometers morning and evening. I asked him 2 times. He said yes. My next question was, were you able to walk same before treatment? No, he answered. How much were you walking before 15 days? He said almost 1 kilometer. Do you have fear of falling now? He said no, balance is good. I feel like twist in leg once in a blue moon. How is vertigo? it's not there. You had drooping of eyelid. I asked him because he complained that I have drooping of eyelid. Drooping means he said my lids are heavy, and because of this heaviness, they automatically drop down. So we call it medically as drooping of eyelid, that is ptosis. How is it now? He said it is better now. What are the problems now? His answer was, ma'am, I have burning eyes, dim vision, speech blur, backache, acidity. I'm confident now, energetic than before. I'm happy with the effects of your medicine. I'm taking only your line of treatment, nothing else. Almost there was no allopathic medication going on because I stopped everything when I start treatment. Usually, I do not do this. If patient is meeting me for chronic diabetes, thyroidism, cancer, or autism, I never immediately stop their old treatment because this may land the patient in withdrawal symptom. But he was already not taking so much because his allopath has just gave him multivitamins. That's why I thought to stop them and I started a homeopathic medication. The same thing he's mentioning in the video, but I always love to talk with evidence. So this video is for evidence.
15 दिन पहले मेडिसिन डाली थी सेरेब्रल एट्रोफी पे, ठीक है। तो ये 15 दिन में मेडिसिन से कोई तकलीफ हुआ आपको?
मैडम मेडिसिन से कुछ भी, जो आपने मेडिसिन दिया था वो मेडिसिन कंटिन्यू किया मैंने, तो उसमें मेरे को काफी रिलीफ हुआ। मतलब कि अगर परसेंटेज में तो 50% मेरे को उससे इम्प्रूवमेंट दिखा है।
क्या इम्प्रूवमेंट दिखा 15 दिन में?
जैसे मैं पहले चलता था तो मेरा इम्बैलेंसिंग थोड़ा सा होता था।
अच्छा।
अभी मैं चल लेता हूँ, अगर बैक पेन होता है, पूरा मॉर्निंग वॉक 2.5 किलोमीटर का 2.5-3 किलोमीटर का होता है,
कहाँ
और
का?
इवनिंग में 2.5-3 किलोमीटर का होता है।
अब 2 बार वॉक को जा रहे हैं? पर पहले इतनी देर टहल पा रहे थे क्या? 15 दिन के पहले आप कितना वॉक कर रहे थे?
मैडम मुश्किल से 1 किलोमीटर।
अच्छा, और अभी?
2.5 किलोमीटर।
और डर नहीं लगता कि मैं गिरूंगा?
कुछ नहीं, इम्बैलेंस कुछ नहीं होता है,
एकदम कॉन्फिडेंट हो?
सीधा चलता हूँ, कभी कभार थोड़ा सा होता है इम्बैलेंस,
ओके।
तो मैडम
थोड़ा सा हो सकता है।
हाँ।
भैया वर्टिगो का क्या पोजीशन है?
अभी वर्टिगो का कोई नहीं है।
लास्ट टाइम ना एक कंप्लेंट आपका था भैया कि आंखें अपने आप आपकी पलकी गिर रही थी, टोसिस।
नहीं मैम, कम हुआ है।
कम हुआ है। पर अभी आंखों में क्या हो रहा है फिर? मैडम जलन हो रही काफी। हाँ। और बस विजन का थोड़ा सा ये है, और स्पीच ब्लर हो रही है, बैक पेन है। ओके। और एसिडिटी हो रही है। ओके। मेरा कॉन्फिडेंस बूस्ट होना अंदर से, वो भी अभी बूस्ट हुआ है। वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड। तो अभी क्या ना कि पहले से भी थोड़ा ज्यादा एनर्जेटिक भी फील कर रहा हूँ। वेरी गुड। अभी मैं सेटिस्फाइड हूँ, वो जो दवाइयाँ लिया था उससे मेरे को बहुत इफेक्ट हुआ है। चलो बहुत। और एट प्रेजेंट मैं कोई भी दवाई नहीं ले रहा हूँ, इसके सिवा और कोई दवाई नहीं। वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड।
Here, my prescription was Vanadium Med 30, given twice a day for 30 days. Because this medicine was really working well for him, so I thought to continue the same medicine. Follow up after 45 days. Doctor, how are you now? I asked him, how are you now? He said, I have a slight difficulty in walking and slight giddiness is there. So I asked him, it's been 45 days for homeopathic medication. 28 July to 9 September. How much improvement did you observe? He said it is around 60%. Listen his video.
अभी कैसे भी आप?
मैम अभी ठीक है, मगर वही है, ज्यादा चलने में थोड़ा दिक्कत होता है बस।
अच्छा।
और थोड़ा सर घूमता है।
सर थोड़ा। अभी भी आपने को 1.5 महीना हो गया दवाई शुरू करके आपका?
हाँ मैम,
है ना? बिकॉज वी स्टार्टेड इट एट 28 जुलाई 2021 एंड टुडे इज 9 सितंबर। So how much improvement you observed?
मैम मेरे को अगर इम्प्रूवमेंट अगर मैंने काउंट किया तो 60% के अराउंड है पूरा।
ओके, थैंक यू, थैंक यू।
It was strange for me. He was 50% better in first follow-up just after 15 days of first medicine. And now there are 45 days, he's saying total 60% improvement. Vanadium was working well, but something was there which was not letting Vanadium to work in full strength. What was that? I understood that I must address the obstacle in recovery. So I planned his recase taking. Patient said, I feel muscular weakness, There is occasional heaviness in the lids. I feel pain in upper part of eyebrows. All these symptoms started with my last job where I used to sit for long hours working on computer. I used to read articles on phone for 2-3 hours daily. Now I reduced the reading time but still using mobile phone to surf social media. Due to COVID lockdown, I started playing games on tab and phone. I changed the job now, but my work is same. So my dear friends, here you need to find out the recovery, the obstacle to recovery. If you won't remove that obstacle, you are not going to find out your cure. Hanuman mentioned about exciting and maintaining causes in aphorism 7. Do you remember aphorism 7? You see, always organon helps us in finding out the correct remedy. I always work with organon and my every case is from organon to matremedica. So, philosophy helps us a lot in solving clinical cases. Hahnemann wrote, we need to remove these obstacles to recovery to achieve cure. So, what do you think in this case? What can be the obstacle in the recovery?
Mayasam.
Miasm, okay. Only miasm? Miasm is the potential and fundamental cause behind every disease. Obviously, that is understood. But we are talking about exciting and maintaining causes, not the fundamental causes only. You have to remove both. We have selected vanadium, obviously, on the miasmatic background.
More use of mobile anti-miasmatic remedy in the current remedy needed.
Right, right. So could you please suggest me the remedy also?
Anti-miasmatic route, clinging to mobile.
I'm asking about the remedy to remove this obstacle.
Naxom.
Gelsemium. Okay, now I'm reading the chat box. Naxomica. Okay. Everybody is correct, but partially. Can you think out of the box now? You see, for his muscular pain and headache, I was really thinking about gelsemium. Who answered gelsemium was almost 80% correct. But what about the excessive exposure to electromagnetic radiation? It is also responsible for headache and eye symptoms. He was constantly under Wi-Fi since years at his working place and even at home. Although there is very less established scientific evidence of adverse health effects from the Wi-Fi RF exposure, but a homeopath knows how our energetic fields get disturbed and diseased. So we always think that first anything from the environment attacks on our immunity. Understood? Toxic substance can leave an energetic imprint that lasts even after the material substance is no longer present, especially after long-term exposure to that toxin. Here, Wi-Fi is the toxin. Ultimately, radiation and foreign body has provoked an energetic imprint in the energetic system, that is vital energy of the patient. What is this? You know, in Hahnemann's era, everything was so simpler. There were no pollution, no 5G, no radiation, and no stressful lifestyle. But today's modern era gave us a lot of comfort with a package of a lot of disease-producing immunity brokers. With every modern high-tech device, we get hidden adverse effects. So here we are with the side effect of Wi-Fi, radiation, internet, mobile phone. And you see, there is a study performed in 2018. We said that Wi-Fi is an important threat to human health. Repeated Wi-Fi studies showed that Wi-Fi causes oxidative stress, sperm testicular damage, neuropsychiatric effects including EEG changes, apoptosis, cellular DNA damage, endocrine changes, and calcium overload. But for us, in this study, the word oxidative stress is very important. There is one more study which is performed in July 2020, which says that lifestyle, oxidative stress, and antioxidants back and forth in the pathophysiology of chronic diseases. Oxidative stress as a result of imbalance between oxidative and antioxidative process in cells, therefore plays an essential role in the pathogenesis of numerous chronic degenerative disorders. So somewhere in the degenerative changes in the cell, our oxidative stress is responsible and Wi-Fi is responsible to create oxidative stress. Here, either electromagnetic EMF radiation remedy, which counteracts the ill effects of radiation from computers, cell phones, television sets, and power lines, household appliances like microwave, etc. or Wi-Fi radiation remedy was my real need for this case. Because I told you in the beginning, when you are dealing with such deep pathological cases, especially in neurology and respiratory disorders, so we need to think from the basic. Observe every symptom minutely and don't leave anything as considering that it is less important. Here, I prescribe the remedy Wi-Fi radiation 10 m 1 aqua dose. These remedies are not proved traditionally like we prove other drugs in homeopathy. By simply reading the well-documented effects and adverse effect of the drug in question, we have a comprehensive set of symptoms for each medication. Effects have been well studied and the medications have been used by humans on a large scale. So we can use such remedies and ultimately somewhere to speed up our recovery because of the change of the lifestyle and change of the era. We cannot lay down only on classically traditionally proved remedies. Somewhere we need to consider the new stuff, the clinical remedies also. This is known as contemporary homeopathic practice. When you are handling the patient classically along with the help of clinical remedies. So this is my way of working. Now follow up after 60 days. I asked him, how is your speech now? He said, previously there was fumbling in just 5 minutes, which was embarrassing. Now I can talk fluently for 10-15 minutes without fumble. I was so happy. Patient says, you must be observing it, ma'am. When I am talking, you also observing it. I told him, so now do you trust homeopathy? He said 110%. My next question was, how is your vertigo? He was better. He said, now I am confident and doing all work. We will perform, I told him, we will perform your brain MRI after a few months as anatomical changes cannot be expected soon. I am observing good functional changes in you. He said, it's because of you, ma'am. Thank you so much. I told him not to thank me, to thank homeopathy.
ये आज 23 सितंबर है, अभी स्पीच कितना इम्प्रूव हुआ? मैम पहले तो मेरा 5 मिनट में ही स्पीच फंबल होने लगता था, मतलब मैं किसी से बोलता था तो मेरे को खुद को अच्छा नहीं लगता था, बट अभी मेरा 10-15 मिनट तक की कोई फंबल नहीं होता। वेरी गुड, स्मूथली बात करता हूँ, बहुत ही बढ़िया। और आपको भी समझ रहा हूँ कि हाँ, यस। सो अभी होम्योपैथी में ट्रस्ट है मैडम 110%। अच्छा, और भैया चक्कर अभी कैसे आपके? मैम अभी इम्प्रूवमेंट है, मतलब कि पहले जो मैं वॉक करता था उसमें मेरे कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं था, अभी अच्छा कॉन्फिडेंस है, मैं खुद ही हर चीज कर लेता हूँ। अच्छा, अपन एक करेंगे भी आपका ब्रेन का वापस से एमआरआई, लेकिन इतनी जल्दी 1.5 महीने में हम एनाटॉमिकल चेंजेस नहीं दिखा सकते सेरेब्रल एट्रोफी में, मे भी आगे भी ना दिखा पाए, लेकिन एटलीस्ट फंक्शनल चेंजेस आपकी बॉडी में आने शुरू हो गए, तो अपना लाइफ तो रूटीन होना शुरू हो गया। थैंक यू सो मच भैया, थैंक्स टू होम्योपैथी।
Now, what should be my prescription at this moment? Placebo, right? Placebo, okay. Anybody else? I think we have around 81 participants in Zoom and various are there on YouTube and only 1 or 2 answering. I gave him Wi-Fi radiation 10 m 1 aqua dose. As things were better, I thought to continue the same remedy because see, effects of radiation cannot be removed in just 15 days. Sometimes we need to repeat the remedy. Follow up in November 2021.
मैम ये जो मेडिसिन चालू था इसमें मेरा थ्रोट का मतलब मेरा स्पीच क्लियर नहीं आता था, अभी आपको दिख रहा होगा कि मैं एकदम फ्लुएंटली अच्छे से बात कर रहा हूँ, मतलब ये बहुत शॉर्ट हो गया, अब तो 70% क्लियर हो गया ये।
वेरी गुड।
और जहाँ तक कि मेरे को लगता है मैम कि जो अपनी मेडिसिन शुरू थी इससे ब्रेन वगैरह का जो भी मेरा इशू था वो भी सॉर्ट हो रहा है, अभी इससे मेरे को बैक पेन का इशू लगता है।
He was fine, but worried about his backache, obviously because he has degenerative changes and annular tear. So it is troublesome for him. Speech, balancing and vision issues are already settled. Hence, I decided to put the remedy on the tendency of degeneration. Because you see, in his report, in the beginning of the session, we saw that there are a lot of degeneration in spine, fatty infiltration in liver. So, and again, he had thyroidism too. So, thyroid is also a degenerative change in the tissues. So, with Wi-Fi radiation remedy, I tried to detox the adverse effect of Wi-Fi radiation and internet use from his vitality. Now, my need was a remedy which can arrest the tendency of degeneration. Sometimes we start with appropriate medicine, but if you put quality seeds in dirty soil, it won't turn up in a healthy plant. Hence, I again put vanadium mate, this time in 200 ch, 1 dose every 15 days for 2 months given. You can see here his MRI brain. We performed it, we made it around by 16th Feb. And the report is showing the same thing, that is atrophy is there in the brain. This is old report, 27th April 2019, was showing mild prominent cerebral folia suggestive of diffuse cerebral atrophy / degeneration. And this is the recent report performed under homeopathic medication by 16 Feb 2022, last month, showing MRI brain study reveals diffuse cerebral atrophy. You see, when we start any case, when patient is approaching you, before starting the case, we need to decide the prognosis. There are 2 types of cases. First is hopeful, second is hopeless. This case was hopeful. Now, you should know what to be treated, what is there to be treated in the case. In this case, obviously, atrophy is not curable. You cannot give the rear gear to the atrophy. It is an irreversible change. But obviously, you can convert the degenerative changes into the regenerative changes. So in this case, my whole motto was to concentrate on his degeneration and to make the reverse changes, positive changes with the regeneration of the cells. And in this recent report, you will see there is no degeneration, only atrophy. In broad spectrum, if you will talk, usually conventional science use the slash word between atrophy and degeneration. But medically, there is a great difference between atrophy and regeneration. Atrophy reduces the size of the cell under consideration while conserving its form. And degeneration either eliminates the cell completely or so alters its form that its specific differentiation is no longer recognizable. So there is difference between atrophy and degenerative changes. Then I asked him, I told him that your today's report is showing atrophy in brain. It is an irreversible change. With homeopathic medicine, I tried to improve the lacked functions. How do you feel now? He said, whatever report is showing doesn't matter for me. I personally feel that I am improved. My sufferings before coming to your clinic are reduced a lot. Then I asked him, it's my habit. I always ask the patient how much percent you are feeling better. Because you see, we always need the analysis and certificate from the patient. With his observation only, we can move, we can select which potency we are going to put. I told him, we first met at 20th July 2021 and today is 24th February 2022. It is almost 6 months now. How much is your recovery? He says, in this duration, I feel I'm 60% recovered. Much improvement. Like my habit about asking the percentage, I think it's his habit to be stuck on 60%. But he is much better, more than 60%. You will see in his video.
भैया आज का आपका जो रिपोर्ट देखा है ना ब्रेन का अपन ने, इसमें सेरेब्रल एट्रोफी तो बता ही रहा, क्योंकि एट्रोफी इज इरिवर्सिबल चेंज, तो उसको हम बदल नहीं सकते, लेकिन फंक्शनली ब्रेन का अपन ने इम्प्रूवमेंट किया है होम्योपैथी मेडिसिन ने। लेकिन उसके अलावा आपका फंक्शनिंग कैसे बदला?
मैम देखिए, अब ये तो रिपोर्ट एक जो बोल रही है वो अलग बात है, बट मेरे को पर्सनली ऐसा फील होता है कि मैं अभी पहले से ज्यादा अच्छा फील कर रहा हूँ। मेरे को बहुत सी तकलीफ जो पहले थी बिफोर कमिंग टू योर क्लिनिक, मेरे को जो तकलीफ थी अभी बहुत कम हो रही है, ऐसा लगता है।
भैया हम जब मिले हैं 28 जुलाई 2021 को, और अभी ऑलमोस्ट 24 फरवरी 2022 चल रहा, तो इट इज ऑलमोस्ट 6 मंथ्स। तो ये 6 मंथ में हाउ मच रिकवरी
सुन रहे हैं मुझे?
मैडम ये ड्यूरेशन मेरे को 60% का रिकवरी हो चुका है, ऐसा मेरे को पर्सनली लगता है, और काफी इम्प्रूवमेंट है मेरे में पहले से।
ओके, चलो थैंक यू सो मच, आपने ट्रस्ट किया,
बहुत बहुत
थैंक यू।
आप सुन रहे हो मुझे?
हाँ आलोक भैया, अभी नहीं, 1-2 मिनट रुकना है।
हाँ जी हाँ जी, ओके मैम, ठीक है।
So this was the report by 24th March. I got his report of brain atrophy. We performed this MRI brain. But suddenly, while preparing this presentation for today's session, I suddenly, a thought popped in my mind that what about the degenerative process? Because I was addressing throughout the case about only his degeneration. So I need to check whether his degeneration I was able to cure or not. So I suggested him by 23rd March that please do perform one MRI cervical spine with spinogram, because he performed it last by 24th April in 2019. So he immediately performed it the next day, and by 24th March morning, he gave me this report, which you can see here. And let us just tally the both reports, the old report from 2019 and the new report from 24th March 2022. So in this report, everything was same, spondylitic changes were same, everything was same. But the only two things changed. The first thing is that you can see here degenerative changes in L5S1 in old report. In new report, there is no degeneration. And there is no annular tear in new report. So homeopathically, I was much able to cure his degenerative process, as well I could help him for the issue of annular tear. Usually patients coming to my place, they say that, doctor, we went to some XYZ homeopath and he said, oh, for degeneration or for annular tear, there is no medicine. You just need to take physiotherapy or do some exercises or take traction. But no, homeopathically, we can solve this issue if we have deep interest in the case and if we have a strong will to recover the patient. So in this case, I could finally address is degenerative changes. And for internet addiction, there are various remedies which I am using. Mostly cephalininum and arsenicum is really wonderful remedies in cases of internet addiction. Because of COVID, various parents are coming to our clinic and they are complaining the same thing. You might also be facing the same thing, that parents are telling you, doctor, see, my son is or my child, he doesn't listen without mobile. He doesn't eat without mobile. All the time he wants mobile. They just play game on mobile. They watch phone on mobile. They surf social media on mobile. For them, everything is just mobile. So for such cases, we have wonderful remedies like cephalininum, arsenicum, and there are few rubrics in our repertory like love for computers, desire to play Nintendo, or desire to play Scrabble, and we have silicia, bufo, sulfur. For such remedies are there, and various are many more remedies are there. If you will find out the rubrics, you will ultimately learn it. So strategy to deal with neurological cases for me is, I think you might have guessed the strategy yet, but let me still share it with you. Pay attention to the keynote symptom. What is the keynote running in the patient? In this case, it was degeneration. Address that keynote symptom. Remove maintaining and exciting causes. How did I remove that maintaining or exciting cause? Wi-Fi. I gave the remedy Wi-Fi radiation to remove the toxins from his immunity as well. I suggested the patient to use the internet with wire. Don't go for Wi-Fi. Third is suggest physiotherapy or massage if needed, and go back to the originally selected remedy after removal of obstacle of recovery. And hence, in this case, after Wi-Fi mediation, I again went back with Vanadium metallicum 200 CH. So this is all about today's session. I'm happy for the first time I could complete my session in just 1 hour. Thank you so much for your patience listening. And today we have this patient, Mr. Alok, with us, and he would like to open his video and we'll share something with you. Deepu, can he open his video?
Ma'am, can you stop the screen sharing?
Yes, of course. Hello, Alok.
Ma'am, good evening all. Ma'am, hello.
Hello. Yes, we can hear you, Alok Bhaiya.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening all, ma'am. मैम एक्चुअली देखिए, ये जो मैं मेडिसिन ले रहा हूँ ना, इससे मेरे को बहुत इफेक्ट हुआ है. इससे मैं मच बेटर फील कर रहा हूँ. जो मैं पहले कंडीशन थी मेरी, उससे आज बेटर है मेरी कंडीशन हर चीज में. और जो शायद मैं अगर ये आपके पास पहले आता, जो मेरा डिजेनरेटिव चेंजेस हुआ है, उसके अगर मैं पहले आपके पास में, मगर मेरी डेस्टिनी आपके पास लेके आती, तो शायद मैं जल्दी ठीक हो जाता. आज आपसे मिलके, आपके मेडिसिन लेके मेरे को इतना पॉजिटिवनेस आ रहा है, मतलब कि ऐसा मेरे को अंदर से फील होने लग गया है कि मैं अच्छा हो रहा हूँ. ये मेरे को कॉन्फिडेंस मेरा बूस्ट कर रहा है. अभी मैं ऑफिस में भी कंटिन्यूसली काम कर ले रहा हूँ. मेरे को कोई मतलब ज्यादा उससे तकलीफ हो नहीं रहा है. पहले मैं नहीं कर पा रहा था, अभी काम भी कर पा रहा हूँ अच्छे से. मैडम, थैंक्स टू यू, थैंक्स होम्योपैथी. आपका हमेशा आभारी रहूंगा मैं. आपने इतना मेरे लिए ट्रीटमेंट की स्टडी किया है, हिस्ट्री भी उसकी पता किया है, उसके लिए बहुत बहुत थैंक यू मैम. और होम्योपैथी का भी थैंक यू.
थैंक यू सो मच आलोक भैया. एंड ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ ऑल होम्योपैथ, क्योंकि यहाँ पे बहुत सारे होम्योपैथी बैठे हैं पूरे, सो ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ ऑल होम्योपैथ वी थैंक यू फॉर ट्रस्टिंग ऑन होम्योपैथी. थैंक यू सो मच.
थैंक यू वेरी मच मैम.
थैंक यू. Deepu, back to you.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. I invite Dr. Uma.
Yeah, myself Umesh Jihad. Today we have great, amazing presentation from you, ma'am. Lot of thanks to you. We are accepting more session from you, and then I hope this session are helpful to all the participants. Thank you so much to all the doctors and the students who are joining here today. On the behalf of IHSMS, thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, doctor. Actually, I can see a few questions in the chat. Those who are writing, yes, of course, you can open your camera or open your mic and please ask me directly.
If anyone have any doubts now, we can clear it. Ma'am will share her thoughts with us. Ma'am, I wanted to ask only one question. Actually,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
do have, actually, ma'am, where will we get this Wi-Fi 10M? Actually, in Kerala, it's not even available.
I brought this remedy from London last year, Tipu, but I think it is available in India now. But usually, such remedies I brought from Europe and London. So you can get this remedy from Hanuman Pharmacy or Helios Company, UK. Write to
Also,
them; they will send
also,
it to you.
yeah, also regarding the last session on nosol,
Yes.
where you have explained lot of remedies, but nothing is available here. The same issue happened, and even many doctors have messaged me regarding
Okay.
where we will get it, where we will get it.
In
Okay,
nosol,
so
I think I usually explain about the indication and I give some name of nosol like bowel nosol. It is easily available at St. John's, Mangalore.
okay,
You can get these remedies from there, and otherwise you can get all the remedies from Helios Company, UK. Otherwise, there is Hanuman Pharmacy in Netherlands. They also supply the remedies.
okay, ma'am. Effect of ma'am, can you read out the question or should I read? There are some variety of questions.
Okay, no, I will read because now I can see the chat. Okay, I think I missed something. Dipu, it's better you should read.
Yeah, I will take some important one. Is it any remedy for effect of high tension wires around on humans? High tension wires, yeah.
Yes, there are various remedies for that. One is already I explained about electromagnetic remedy. You get this remedy electromagnetic or you get Wi-Fi radiation. But there is one traditional remedy which is easily available in India is belly spur. You go and open Materia Medica for belly spur. Somewhere in the literature, you will definitely get that it works when there is adverse effect of radio frequent energy, RF energies. Any more question?
Yes, ma'am.
Belly spur, yes.
Belly spur, yeah.
Yes. Potency is 30. See, I always wonder to see such question. You ask every remedy, you ask every question to the speaker who is coming to your platform. Then you ask the potency also. And you feel that the particular person, for example, if I have used belly spur in 30 and I got result, you are also going to get the result in 30. Is it possible? No. So please don't ask the potency anyway, anytime, because every person is different. You just know about the remedy, read it, and decide the potency according to the patient. It is not fixed for the same patient. Every patient is different, so your potency may change. Sometimes, if you have big aggravation, major aggravation, then 30 won't address. You will need 1M, 10M, isn't it? So don't ask about potency, just ask about medicines.
Dr. Ashok.
Hi, Dr. Ashok.
Hello, good evening to you, and for me it's good afternoon.
Good evening.
I'm concerned with this Wi-Fi you told. It's fantastic programs you have shown me, especially the patient who was really better with this vanadium and after Wi-Fi. I want to bring your attention nowadays in India, what I have seen before all around, this 5G is coming, and especially the antennas all around, especially in India. All people are, for the sake of money or whatever, is not concerned with me that these antennas they are putting on their houses. Could you imagine that radiation, especially here in Europe, the all 5G is already started. I'm here in Switzerland. So these radiations, other than this Wi-Fi, which we are putting 1 meter, 2 meters, or 5 meters from our head, while weather is in another room, how you will bring me to that situations to understand more about side effect of all this radiation, either Wi-Fi, which is more stronger in our houses. If I'm here in my office, you see from 2 meters, I have the, the box, which is Wi-Fi.
Router. Yes,
But
router.
on the top
Router.
of our, or nearby, all these antennas which are 5G is coming and is too strong, whether 4G or 2G, whatever, how we will prepare for us to have these remedies, either Wi-Fi or whatever the remedies you are telling about, the bellies or something. But something comments upon these situations. Please do that.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Ashok. Your question is really valuable, and I really want to put light on this. God has given us wonderful body and wonderful immunity. So every person who is under Wi-Fi is not going to face this side effects always. It depends upon the individual. Sorry, we are getting some disturbances. Dr. Anand Jaiswal. Okay, thank you. So, my dear friends, sorry, Dr. Ashok, I was telling that every person who is coming or who is there under Wi-Fi, now almost we all are under Wi-Fi, but our immunity are different. So it's not necessary that one person reacted to the Wi-Fi and got degenerative changes. We all are going. But somewhere, obviously, we all are going to get some adverse effect. So I would suggest you that there is no prevention for such disorder. If you get any symptom, like few people are complaining that after using lot of internet during COVID situation, now I'm suffering from hair fall. If some patient is telling you, then you need to address that hair fall by keeping the elementing factor in your mind. But for the whole society, there is no preventive measure for such things. The only preventive measure is that don't use Wi-Fi, use the internet, which you can, which is easily applicable with the wires. So this is my answer, that God has already given us the good immunity to fight with the surrounding disorder. But if immunity gets toxined by some other issues since our childhood, not only Wi-Fi, but there are many disorders which we suppress in your childhood, then clean the immunity with classical, traditionally proved homeopathic remedy and boost up the recovery with the help of nozodes and sarcos. That is my answer for this situation. Okay. I guess I could satisfy your answer, Dr. Ashok?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Dr. Anand?
Hello?
Yes, Dr. Anand?
Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes.
Yeah. Good evening, ma'am. It's a very wonderful session. And the medicine you have shared, the Wi-Fi radiation, I am first ever heard about from you. It's very quite interesting. The case you have done it's very amazing, ma'am, because there is an anatomical changes is nothing seen, but functioning changes is seen. That's the power of homeopathy. I have a question regarding, ma'am. In your report, I have seen some cervical lordosis is going to be space is changes. I think maybe is patient going to be there in a healthy condition. Can you suggest some medicine for the cervical lordosis?
Dr. Anand, there are various remedies for this situation, but you see, we cannot put the remedies only according to indication. If there is cervical lordosis, because it is his old disorder, he has cervical spondylitic changes since beginning, even before meeting me. So when I studied this case thoroughly, I did not address his cervical spondylitis like any other homeopath would have done. I did not address for the cervical lordosis because I wanted to address the basic keynote disorder, and that is degeneration. You see, lordosis is there again because of the degenerative changes in the tissue. So it's better to cut the root. If you will just cut the leaves, if you will just treat the symptoms, the disease will remain there lifelong. So it's better to cut the root and provide the peace and real harmony to the patient. And if you want me to talk about the particular symptom lordosis, and if you want remedies for that, so for lordosis or for any bone disorder, we have wonderful remedies like silicea always think about calcium group. Like we have marble, we have graphite, we have silicia. The whole calcarea group is there for such disorders. But ultimately, it depends on the totality of symptoms. Don't go with one indication. My suggestion to you is that go with totality of the symptom. In such cases, always consider the totality.
Okay.
Do we have any more question, Dr. Deepu?
I think we are done now.
Thank you so much, everyone. I think we are losing something.
Dr. Harpreet,
Okay.
unmute yourself. Okay.
Okay. I'm just checking the chat. Nobody should feel that I didn't answer him. Okay. I think Shaili raised hand. Harpreet. Hi, Harpreet.
You may talk. I think she has some issues with network, I guess. You can write down the question or later you can send your queries to ma'am in her personal mail.
So I think it is done now. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Yes, and with me, always you will learn new remedies. So I will try to make it more simpler for you to understand.
Thank you so much, ma'am, and thank you for the wonderful feedback we are getting from this session as well. Always, as always, you always talk with new medicines. So thank you so much, and thank you, everyone. We will come up with another good session in future also, and ma'am is always available with us. If you wanted to contact ma'am, please contact us. We will guide you. And our next session will be on March 30 on management of gallstone. Thank you so much.
Bye, everyone. Good night.